Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? I'm hoping quite well. I'm gonna swap over to the face cam, not the pie show one. There we go, the full face cam. Yeah, how are we all? I'm hoping very, very well. Thank you for being a member for 15 months, Baby Zebra. Yeah. Hello. Thought I'd I thought I'd do a little bit of a stream because I was like, you guys seem to like the jet watching streams from time to time. Let's do another one. It'd be quite fun. My Paul sent you applause for the Critics Cup. See you Sunday up the road. Thank you very much. I've had a little bit of a dive through a playlist. I did so last night with a bunch of the people that are at the charity match, which should be quite good. We've done quite a lot of songs on it, so we might not get everything. But there's a good amount of stuff. We'll have a little bit of a conversation on that over the next couple of hours, I am absolutely certain. Also, I'm going to make a very quick request of you guys here, because a thing happened at the start of this stream. And it was a thing that was really annoying at the start of this stream. Because I hopped on to YouTube Studio, and I was like, this is going to be fine, all is going to be well, it's all fine and good and dandy and all that kind of stuff. And it turns out that in spite of the fact that at the time the stream had 9 likes, it had 10 dislikes, because apparently people don't like these streams, even though the entire point is it's a nice chill chat thing. Thank you, Flashbang. So if you guys could pop a like on the stream, that'd be massively appreciated, because it helps to sort of get it pushed out to people. It helps us to have a nice little natter, because during this long flight that will be nice and relaxing and cool and calm and chill and all that kind of stuff, the main goal of which is basically have a bit of fun. We'll discuss all the transfery bits and bobs anyway. There might not be anything huge going on at the moment, but that's fine. We're always in a little bit of a rush to be like, why isn't the content about a specific news story? And it's like, well, because right now the content is about having a chill and having a chat. What is this flight? This flight is an excuse to do a long form stream, basically. Said long form stream being, we're just going to have a little bit of a chillax, and it's going to be the flight that takes us from Leeds Bradford to Stockholm. It is a private flight that has been arranged presumably by the club, because it is a very, very big private flight, which is cool and nice. I have a feeling they'll announce long stuff whilst I'm live. No, surely not. Surely they wouldn't do the announcement whilst they are in the air. That would be stupid at best. I think that they'll do it this evening instead of whilst the flight is in the air. Because I think that'd just be a weird move, wouldn't it? The question is, how do you set up streamer mode on Discord, because it keeps not working? Unless it's already on. I think it might already be on. Can someone that has me on Discord please ping me a message on Discord, and then I can find out? Ideally not the one that you just pinged me. Has Longstaff had his medical? My assumption is going to be yes. I believe he will have done. Gonna head over to this one. There we go. That's the wrong stuff. Why isn't it doing the removed version? Ah, NVIDIA broadcast, do your job. Video, virtual background. Specifically remove the background. There we go, we're in flight mode again. Cool. Medical was apparently completed 24 hours or so ago. That seems to make sense. Yeah, the flight is currently estimated to set off at 2:40. It's been delayed, because every time I do one of these, the flight gets delayed. Hello, Harry. How are you doing? Why is the chat in the wrong place? There we go. No, the chat's in the wrong place on purpose, because that's where the map goes, isn't it? Right, okay. But then again, it's ocean. So do we need the map? Pop a 1 in the chat if you think we need the map. Pop a 2 in the chat if you think we do not need the map. And then we'll judge based on what you guys are sort of recommending as to whether we're feeling mappy or we're feeling unmappy. Most flights have been delayed. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't like it. The weather being terrible on Sunday is also a problem. The weather being terrible on Sunday is going to be real bad for the charity match. Let's have a quick look at the weather forecast. Feck. Uh-oh. No, wait, that's Leeds. That's not. That's Blackpool, not Leeds. Let's try Leeds. Okay. Because I knew there was a risk of rain at the very least. We were expecting it to rain throughout the match. However, that risk of thunderstorm is not good. And this is why we make alternative plans. Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll learn to deal with it. We've got a plan in place if there is thunder. So that's cool. It's not a plan that I wanted to have to do, but if it's one that we have to, then that's okay. Where the plane? Why is plane no longer on the departures list? Has it just departed? Or have I missed it? Hang on. Let's head over to whichever airport it was. Not that one. That one, Arlanda. Arrivals from... Leaves are falling apart. It's that one. Okay, it's not in the air yet, but it wasn't on the list. Because it's now in the past. Right, okay. I keep forgetting how flight radar works. Which is horrible, but it's fine. What are your thoughts on maybe signing Pie Show if that were to happen? I'd be very happy with a signing Pie Show, to be completely honest with you. I would enjoy a Pie Show deal because it's one of those that I think just sort of makes sense. Like, it might be a little bit spooky, but it's fine. The issue isn't rain and cold, the issue is lightning. Because a couple of years back over in Blackpool, where I live, there was a thunderstorm. And said thunderstorm happened during a football game and they didn't take the right precautions with it. Which meant that said lightning ended up striking a child. Which is something that I'm not going to piss about with. I'm not going to take any risk or anything with that. I refuse to. Let's hop over to 3D view. So as much as some people might be like, well, it's not the fun approach though, is it? It's like, yeah, because I mean, as much as I would quite like us to be able to be like, yeah, it's fine, we'll just do it. Yeah, let's not risk things. I think it'll be fun enough for the spectators because we got some other bits and bobs planned. If it comes to it, we'll just turn it into an improv night. We'll just do a little bit of stand-up comedy. It'll be nice and fun. It'll be a good vibe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll just make it comedy. I know the flight is now live. I'm currently watching it do a little bit of a taxi. But I'm going to wait till it's like lifting off and stuff before I delve into it. But yeah. The rule that I've put in place in the event of lightning, just so people are aware, and this is because folks need to be aware in the event that they are at the match, and also in the event that they are helping out at the match and they are watching this, because I know that someone is. What people will potentially need to... Long stuff changes in mind. No, is ours now. So I'm going to inform folks. In the event of a lightning strike, it's not a no metal studs thing. It is a if there is lightning within 5 miles of the pitch, we go inside for a bit. Because I don't particularly want to risk anyone in any way, shape, or form. No metal studs would be good, but the fact of the matter is, it is a big open field on top of a hill. So whilst that can be fantastic for the views and the vistas. And I think there's a specific place nearby that's like it's called Leeds Overlook or something. I don't particularly want to be causing anyone any particular problems. Uh, we do currently have the flights up, by the way. If I were to just, this is the view from the cockpit right now. We're just sort of floating. Just tell people to hold up umbrellas, it'll be fine. Yeah, if everyone is an individual lightning mast, then that means that each individual's chance of being hit by lightning is significantly smaller. So, I mean, if you put it that way, everyone's a little bit safer. I feel like we're not driving into the car park. I think it's just got the angle wrong, but we're taxiing at the very least. Thoughts on this link? Which link? Which link are we discussing? Big bar open, any clubhouse. What? That's not words. What are we saying, Clapton Blackburn? We are currently saying various bits and bobs. You can't fly a plane facing away from the cockpit. No, but we can drift a plane across a field in a car park. That poor vehicle. Oh, it's gone now. Oh. Oh. Quite good at this. You need a volunteer to carry a copper rod. I am not that volunteer. I think what we do is the first person to commit a foul, we attach a dozen helium balloons to them. And we just send them up. And in a metal basket as well. So they become sort of the magnet for the lightning. Which I think is a bad idea, but potentially a fun idea. Because it means that we get to play the football underneath, and at worst, we've got a nice fireworks show, and there's a barbecue at the same time. An impromptu barbecue, and the meat might not be cooked all the way through, and it's sort of technically cannibalism via manslaughter, but it works. We're only 13 minutes into a 2-hour live stream, and we're talking about sending up JT on a fucking hot air balloon to act as a weather vane. We could employ Jack Harrison to do it as well. That works. The streamers take turns. No, streamers do not take turns. Wait, hold on. Yeah, because if I'm not on the pitch at any point, then it's not my problem. I like it. That works. Well, why JT? Because I feel like he's a nippy boy. He's quick. It is the Leeds flight going to Stockholm. Yeah, it's just a chill, hanging out kind of stream. It's going to be a good vibe. It's going to be nice. Unless people get grumpy, in which case, it's fine. I'm doing this for a little bit of fun. I'm doing this as a little bit of a de-stress after various shenanigans relating to the charity match, because the organisational stuff around that is nuts and silly. Locked up in a wheelchair just does not suffice as a Faraday cage, or therefore race you inside. How easily can you build a Faraday cage? Because I think if we oh, hello. Where's that one going? Well, other than the sky. But that's what we've been waiting for. My money's on Just Joe to go open yet. I mean, maybe. Meza be on it. Second choice keeper at the moment. He's just poor but not done anything wrong to the club like Jack. He'd be on what? The hot air balloon? Fairly easily a car is one after all. Yeah, but you can't fit a wheelchair in the majority of cars, or at least not comfortably. I wonder when Leeds will release squad details and who's travelled to Stockholm. I would assume after announcing Longstaff, because we know that that needs to happen at some point. One sec. Longstaff might not play tomorrow. I think he potentially gets minutes off the bench. Would be fun. The ideal world is we announce him by announcing our first team lineup, just because that'd be incredible. It's such a weird flex to be like, by the way, Manchester United, we're that confident we've announced this guy 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. Anyone know if the game's televised tomorrow? I've got no clue. I'll be honest. I wish I could tell you. I think Melier may play against Geisley. I forgot there was a match against Geisley as well. Oh, yeah. That's fun. I love that people are just sort of discussing when they're arriving on the day now. That's always good. Pope says if the deal's done in time, he's likely to be in the squad to face Man United. I think he will be. It's all about sort of announcement and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Also, I did something incredibly stupid a few minutes ago. And I say incredibly stupid, I mean incredibly stupid. And I'm going to flip over to the pilot eView now. Hold on. There we go. Cool. I did something incredibly stupid earlier. So I'm having pulled pork for tea because Kayla is currently working. And as a general rule of thumb, if she's working, I'm going to make some food because, you know, it's nice to make someone food. We are up in the air, by the way. Expect they'll both be on this flight doesn't mean they won't be out the door next week, though. Oh, who? Melier and Harrison. That's a weird one. Bring guest support takes part on a specific list. Sure. And we're up and going. Melly and Harrison. Right. I think they probably go because I think the Geisley match is going to be 21s. I think that'll be 21s and then maybe one or two people. Imagine if they gave, like, Longstaff the 21s match. That'd be quite fun. Like, by the way, Sean. Okay, so we know you're quite good. But at the same time, we did promise one or two senior players would stick around. So, you're not playing Manchester United. How do you like the idea of Geisley? Which I think his immediate response would be, what are you talking about? Go fuck yourself. But I think he's not in a position to say no. I mean, he's very much in a position to say no. But, yeah. Hang on. I just need to quickly reply to JT on the subject of people that were putting up in weather balloons to get lightning struck. Take us run yards together. Bosh. Okay, cool. Right. Just flying the plane backwards. Everyone said that last time, and it's like, no, it's just it's on autopilot. Let's be chill. Let's be calm. Let's be nice. We're having a good time. Protect JT. JT shall get no protection. Like it's a football match. JT is likely, given his stature and like specific like physical attributes, JT is going to be on the wings. JT is coming up against Max and Darren, I believe, off the top of my head. JT is not going to be protected. JT is in danger. Just trying to hope everyone's buckled in, and for now the toilets are off limits. What did you do in there, Evie? You're meant to be one of the hostesses. See the UFO out the plane window. No, that's EXS4NX. He's about 30,000 feet up there. How's Lucky's knee? I think he's fine. I hope he's fine, because if he's not fine, that means that I have to have more minutes. And I don't know how many minutes I will be able to have. which is a fun little concern to have when, like, it's a charity football match and it's like, I don't know if I'll play much football. Oh, oh. Sorry about that. It has been a hell of a day, as Evie will attest to. It's a flight thing. For takeoff, you have to be buckled in and flight and toilets right of use. Yeah, but we've taken off now. So there's no real issue. We're in the sky. So in my opinion, since we're over Keighley, just do a poo. And then hope that it lands in a moor rather than on a house. That's the ideal approach. Why are we still going west? Is my question. Okay, pee away, everyone. No. I said nothing about pee. It's not. It's only open in the event of emergencies, and that is total heading at best. Still disappointed we're not seeing Pascal in the new away kit. Could it be that Leeds are saving the NHS from undue pressure from a mass fainting event? It could be. Yeah, that could be the case. That could be what's going on. Hi Joe, are the team sheets online? Are programs available on Sunday? I will be honest on this one. Initially, team sheets were something that I was like, this is a cool idea. I can probably do this. If I can do it, then I will. And then it got to now. And I am still having to... I've just realised I'm too zoomed in. And I'm still having to prep things, and I'm still having to do all kinds of bits and bobs. So whilst I would have liked to have done proper like programs and stuff, I cannot do proper programs and stuff. I've got 2 days at this point, and the amount of stuff that is just like is tough. If heading west, hold the poo for a bit. There's a better landing zone. I don't think we're going to be heading west all the way. I mean, we're nearly over Burnley, so I think now is the perfect spot for it. Also, interestingly, I'm going to cut to this view for a minute. I've walked over these hills. They're bloody horrible. Genuinely nasty. It's so windy up there. Takes the piss. Unpleasant. Anyway, let's get back to the flight view. Why does the coast look really, really close? Where am I? I'm over here. Am I? Where are you? Baron Finesse. Yeah, I'm over here. I think. Yeah, because that's Morecambe Bay, which makes that Fleetwood, which makes that Blackpool. I'm about there. I think. Assuming I've got my geography right. I think I have. I'm relatively good at geography. Junior looks incredible in green and white. No, we're not reflecting on Junior. I've just realised you guys can't see that. There we go. There, roughly, is me. Hello. Wait, hold on. Actually. No, I won't see it that far away. It'd be nice, but I'm not going to see it over Clitheroe, am I? Or Clit Hero, as some may call it. Which is... There's a joke here that is appropriate. I can't find it. None of the directions I'm going in are super appropriate. No, I'm going to leave it. No, we leave it. We leave it. There's potential for like a Brad Pitt joke. A Chris Hemsworth joke. I don't know. There's lots of potential. Can't understand how far west they're flying. I don't know. They might fancy it. Might be a vibe. Well, which direction's the M6? Hang on. I can actually see it. Let me just... No, JT, stop DMing. You're trying to be useful, but... There we go. Yeah. I don't know how visible that is, but if I just... Oh, that isn't. That's all background. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, I can see it. I've got a picture of it. It's a nice looking plane. I couldn't see the plane. I could see the trail. Not much behind it, but that's fine. Anyway, back to here. And back to the little bit of a cheeky little natter they're turning now. I can see that. It's fine. Why have I looked back and all of chat is getting horny over Junior Furbo? Let me know if you fly over Hull so I can take a number 2 mid-flight. I like the thinking. It's good planning in advance. You might have to hold for a while, especially considering we are currently going in a very northern direction. More over the Dales than anywhere else. Yeah, we're not going over Hull. Maybe over Newcastle. You can do a poo there if you want. You're not horny over Junior. No, my annoying sort of... I've got a condition, right? It's a pretty bad condition. I'm what we call a straight man, which means that, sadly, no, I am not horny over Junior Furbo. As much as some are and some will continue to be. It's... I know it's a horrible condition to have. Ooh, indeed. But, alas. Alas is what I'm into, being a straight man. Hey! No. Is it deadly? I don't know. It depends. On if anyone has a nut allergy. Anyway. Straight man are a rare breed today. No, they're absolutely not a rare breed today. It's just the people that aren't are willing to be vocal about it because they're not like at risk of their lives anymore, which is a good thing. But Furb has a fantastic lover, has to be with that mustache. Yeah, it's all for texture. Is the goal, I guess. I don't know. Why did the conversation get here? I don't understand. Ah. Help, I'm too much of an introvert for this. I think JT just came out. I mean, maybe. Having seen Junior Furbo, potentially, there's a chance. Why are we going weeb mode? Why are we going full like senpai mode? No. No. But Berto Carlos is not to be considered one's senpai. Thought you ladies would be all about the new Swede we brought in. No, that tends to be cucumbers, I think. I don't know, I'm not a woman, I wouldn't know. We all go to Lidl for our sex toys, right? Right? Guys? Pasha has good Tash game. He does, yeah. I think, if I remember right. Let's have a look. Here you go, Pasha. Show us your Tash. Oh, he does. Oh, that's not a bad Tash. No, Aldi for me. Aren't they basically the same company? I know they're not actually the same company, but Aldi just sounds like Lidl. It just does. And they're both sort of European shop that does relatively cheap food compared to other places. So it just, like, you have to. No, yeah, I can back Paisho's mustache now. All the women will be chasing Joe once he grows a mustache. No, they will not. Because my mustache does not grow. Because my face does not facial hair very well, which is a shame. Because at some point it would be nice if I could just be very, very chill, and I could just not bother. But especially when they got the Super 6 deal on through. Jesus. Now the real trick, right, is you get one of those big tubes of Smarties, mash up some banana in there. Go to town. No, I can't even commit to that bit. That one is a little crass even for my stream. Which is, might I add, only half an hour in, and it is meant to go for about 2 and a bit. Right, when is the estimated time of arrival? Jesus Christ, it's an hour and 45 minutes away. I'd say I'm sorry, Evie, but I'm not. Have Leeds announced which players have flown to Sweden? I do not believe so. I believe that one's been kept a little hush-hush, but that's because Jesus, Sly. Because I personally believe that Longstaff is likely going to be on said plane. My wife says that Joe's a very good-looking man, with or without mustache. Thank you? But at the same time, I'm confused. Where's that come from? Not gonna lie, I've known him long enough for worse. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There have been at least 3 times I was going to make worse jokes in this stream alone, so. I love that at the moment I'm just, like, having done the charity walks, I can just sort of look around and be like, oh, I've walked there. Oh, I've walked there. I walked from there to over here. All the way down to over here. Oh, nice. Wait, is it over here? Is that Leeds? Is that Leeds Bradford? No, it's Teesside. Oh, I've walked way further than that. Where's that? RF Leeming. Where's Leeds Bradford? Jesus fucking Christ, that is a longer walk when you look at it like that. Oh. I didn't complete the walk because I was dying of death. But it's a long way to Tipperary. Thankfully, didn't walk to Tipperary. That's good. I had a clean shave a couple of weeks ago. My wife said I looked too young. She's a bit older than me. That's a question. Do people only say I have a young face because I keep my face shaved? Maybe. But I keep my face shaved because I can't even achieve stubble. I just achieve patchy, which is a shame. If you're not subscribed to Joe, please hit the subscribe button. Indeed, it's a button down here. And for each of the subscribers that I've got at the end of the charity match on Sunday, which is going to be at like 3 p.m-ish, but I'm going to get one of my current moderators in the chat to check what that number is specifically at full time. I don't know if Hannah can be there. Hannah, did you say you can be there or not? But yeah, once it's full time, I will have a look at the number of subscribers, and for every subscriber I've got, I'll put another 1p towards Prostate Cancer UK. So that'd be absolutely wonderful. Be lovely jubbly. Have you considered career as an airline pilot? You appear to have an aptitude for it. I mean, I've not crashed yet, which is good. Unfortunately, I now have a family thing. No! God damn it. I think you are actually my longest term YouTube member, which is quite funny because Baby Zebra, once I got the... What's it called? What's the words? Where are my words? We are now flying over Durham, by the way. But once I got my YouTube partnership, she was like, I'm going to be the first member. And then wasn't. By a single day, yes. It is streamed on my channel, yes. So I have an OnlyFans girlfriend, she doesn't mind my facial hair. Fair. I now have a non-refundable hotel too. Oh shit, that's not good. Oh, why don't you just bring the family, depending on what the family thing is. If it's a serious and bad family thing, my apologies. I don't mean to make light of it. So Joe's patchy, oh, you're a patchy Joe. No, because I can't, it's not even patchy enough to be patchy. It's just, there's nothing. It's like, bold, something, which means that you just sort of, you turn into someone who, if you don't shave, shouldn't be allowed around schools, rather than someone that can grow a beard. And it's a sad place to be, I've got to be honest with you. Apparently, people in the players group chat are specifically liking my terminology on the lightning thing, in which I said, it's not the rain that scares me, to be fair, it's the big noisy zappy fucker that can come with it. Which, I mean, fair enough, that's a good way of putting it. Just leaving Newcastle. We are indeed, if we pan around. Newcastle, down here. It's a nice, there's nice bridges along here. Where's the stadium? I don't know, we can't zoom in far enough. We're too high. But we move on. We continue to fly. Let's cut to the external camera for a minute, shall we? There we go. And let's just keep going along. The estimated time of arrival is still 5:45 Sweden time in Stockholm. Went to university in Newcastle. Lovely jubbly. You didn't miss the hat, by the way. I didn't have the chance to go and get a hat, which is a shame. I only found out that this specific flight was booked yesterday. And it's like, well, I can't leave the house now and get a hat. But it's fine. It's not a problem. Let's top up my lovely flavoured water. You're in Blackpool, I know. But I found out about the plane relatively late in the day. Plus, Kayla was out at work, and we have a dog that got big anxieties. So it's a case of look after dog. Some HGH can help with facial hair growth, moderate can sort you out. I'm not that bothered about facial hair. I've got to be honest. On a serious note, I come across as being highly intelligent. I don't know how you've gotten that impression, but I deeply apologise. But thank you. Anyone with that impression has been poorly advertised to, and I must apologise. For if I do not, then trading standards will be all over me. I don't see the Leeds fan in the crowd at the Sweden versus England game in the Women's Euros. I did not. I was watching the match, but I didn't see Leeds fan hanging out in the crowd. Which is my bad. My apologies to that one Leeds fan. Alright, let's zoom out all the way. Jesus, it's a long flight, isn't it? But that's okay. We're going to settle in. We're going to go for it. Thank you, Paul. I'll let it read.
To put towards a hat, smiley face emoji.
Thank you, Welshman. Very, very, very nice. Too early for USA announcement. What USA announcement? I'm confused. It was when the teams were emerging from the tunnel. Oh, I missed that bit. I'll be honest. I was still doing a stream at that point, so my apologies. John B, you've been lied to. Joe lacks intelligence. He still thinks Banter should be starting for us. If you weren't a coward, Evie. If you were not a coward, then I'd say let's hash this one out in StreamYard. I will fight you right now. But alas, you are not upon this plane, and I don't think that there is a way that I could make you on this plane, because I don't know how I would do that from a technical perspective. Can't anyone put a hat on you now? No, because Kayla's at work. She's currently at Waterstones. Which is nice, because like it means that I get half-price books, and I like a book. But yeah, I think you are simply a coward. You are unwilling to take this fight. And I'll be honest, I thought you'd be more in favour of the underdogs of the world. Also, I can't sit up at the minute to be on stream. In all fairness, we could always do it as like a radio thing. Sod it, we'll do a radio call-in show. I don't know. It'll stay on this screen, or like this screen, I guess, throughout. And we'll just, yeah, sod it. We could do that. That's quite a fun idea. If anyone is up for that, shout it in the chat. But also, if you're still unable to sit up, are you definitely going to be okay to sit up in 48 hours' time? 46 hours' time? Hold on, we've got a test stream and I need to run you and Lucy through some things. 44.5 hours' time. Because that could be rough. There's a Leeds fan near me, has a Leeds United decal on his car, but I've seen him and never talked. I kind of live in the sticks, so it's nice. Yeah, it's good. It feels like you're part of like a little community, I think, which is a good thing. She'll have me and my painkillers. How strong are these painkillers? Because they gotta have some oomph to them. Because she's in, like, post-surgery time. And I feel like if you're bringing the painkillers, you may need to bring, like, a fun-size box. Because I feel like we'll have some injuries. We'll have some wounded footballers throughout. Don't ask. Oh, dear. JT said he wouldn't be surprised if Melier started in goal in the coming season. I thought it was borderline, now I know he's flipped. I don't think he'll start in goal. I think that would be too much of a weird one. That one I cannot see that happening in any way, shape or form. That'd be one of those where it's like, well, no, he's been thrown out on his arse. So him coming back would be a bit silly. Not for me. Darla will start. I think we'll have a new one in. Not for the scum match, obviously, but I think for the start of the season. According to Graham Smith 3.5 hours ago, some interest in Ilan Melier is starting to pick up. Don't believe it's reached firm offer stage yet, though. Leeds are obviously looking for a keeper and making progress on that front, we believe, so writing may very well be on the wall. Regarding Stack, still working on it. To which he was then later asked, can you name any keepers we have firm interest in? Just meant Scum match, to be fair. Yeah, I think he'll start against Scum. We have a close to... No. So when I was younger, and this is a thing that I have not kept quiet and hushed, because it happens a lot of the time, and it needs to be discussed a little bit more. But when I was younger, I was big bullied, which is fun, which is lovely, which led to essentially I dropped out of like all of the hobbies that I enjoyed. So I stopped showing up to the football team that I played for because people are dicks. And I stopped showing up to cricket stuff because people are dicks. So like at a later point, the one thing that I would actually do was like lifeguard training stuff, which was fun. I did that every week. It was great. But yeah, like whilst I was a reasonable goalkeeper, it never hit the point of I can be a good goalkeeper, because every time that I tried to get better, I was kind of like targeted for it, which is fun, which is nice. Kids are horrible, but that's fine. Like Evian streams knowledgeable, strong, and kind of like, I don't know about strong. She's kind of like 4 foot tall. Knowledgeable, yes. Is there a smoking area at John Chell Stadium? I don't know. I'm going to say probably not. Definitely not in the stands. And I'm going to say that from the perspective of someone that knows that we have several people with asthma and breathing difficulties in the stands. So please do not do so. Same applies for vaping, ideally. Yeah, it'll be a ideally not in stadium, if that's okay, kind of deal. But, yeah. No, I suppose you just put this on here. Yeah, it's kind of annoying how good Evie is at knowing things about football and how many people dismiss things that Evie says about football because she's a woman. Like, it's so stupid. I think can we escalate from people addicts to kids addicts? I think that feels like a fair balance. No smoking in the stadium outside only, yeah. And that includes in the stands, I'm assuming, as well. Which I fully agree with and support because it's bad. Evie won the quiz. Evie did win the quiz. Evie won the... Right. This is... So. I'll be honest. When I was initially putting the quizzes together and stuff, I didn't know everyone's sort of level of football knowledge. So I just sort of like invited people on Sorry, I got lost mid-sentence because Evie said the word breasts, and therefore the male mind got distracted. No, I just invited people on in the order that I relatively knew them, and as I would invite more people on, then maybe those people would tell the other people, oh, that was kind of fun. In which case, it would just add more and more people to the pile. The issue being, Evie kind of blew everything out of the water. I think only got like 1 or 2 questions wrong, maybe, and then the quiz for the rest of the thing was like, and then Evie's going to be at the top of the list because no one is going to displace her, which I appreciate you, Evie. But you ruined my fucking quiz. You ruined the quiz. And that's the sole reason that the quiz hasn't come back. It's not because I'm too lazy. It's not because it takes a lot of editing, especially the secondary version of it. The secondary version of it was, that was an edit. But the first version was also like a pain to have to put together an entire quiz for every individual person. You run out of questions at some point, which is fun. But you get there in the end. I enjoyed editing, bring it back. Maybe. I'll see if I get the sort of to do so. But we'll find out. We'll see. Oh. That's an idea. That's an idea. What if Balls Knowledge Leeds Creator Cup edition? And then we'll see if Evie's a good commentator that was paying attention to what was happening on the pitch. I like that. Joe, great idea. Thank you. Oh no, because now I'm gonna. Why did I say that? Because now I need to do it on the morning as well. Why have I just added to the list of shit to do? That was smart of me, wasn't it? That was really clever. You know what I'm realizing right now, looking around the plane, and I don't know if you guys can see this properly, so I'll go back to this version. Ignore the pie show bit. And this might come across as stupid, but the sea's really big in it. Like, look how much there is. And this is just this bit. There's so much sea. There's also so much sun and suspicious parents. Fans of BBC Three from the mid-2000s will pick that one up, maybe. I don't know. Were the quiz questions randomly chosen? They were not randomly chosen. They were written each individual week because I needed to have like 30 questions at a time, which is a lot of questions that eventually you just sort of run out of, which is another one of the reasons that I ain't gone back to it. But I'll see if a Creator Cup Balls Knowledge is a thing that people would have an interest in. Sea's really big. Yeah, sea's proper big. Look how big it is. Look at that. So much. Let's go into the pilot seat. Look, you can't even see land. Look at this. It's just all big wet. It's so soggy. Why is it so soggy? Because rain. Right? Because rain. So much rain. But it's really deep. The blue thing goes on forever. If I remember right, there is a straight line that you can take around the world where it's just all sea. which is sort of impressive. If you can just beeline like a full lap, it's kind of good. See another UFO at the plane window. My mistake. I saw the base flying around about Leeds. Joe, what's the deal with the number 42? Oh. What? First of all, why are you asking me what the deal is with the number 42? Why are we discussing the number 42? That's the real question here. If you answer my question, then I may answer yours. Also, Baby Zebra, I have seen the message. I shall sort that after stream. If that is all bueno. What's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? Well, no. Well, it's not the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. It's the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, but we don't know what the question is because the planet Earth was created to discover what the question was. If I remember right, didn't they land on something like... There's options. So, for example... The ultimate question was supposedly meant to be, in the second book of the series, what do you get when you multiply 6 by 9? Which is, thus, not 42, which is quite funny. One of the later books contains 42 chapters, which is quite funny. And yeah, it's just a good number, isn't it? And I like that number because I think that as a general sort of gist, when you're looking at bits of fiction that you've like read or listened to or watched when you were younger, you kind of grab onto certain things, and I think Hitchhiker's Guide is that nice sort of bit of hopefulness, which I quite enjoy. I like that hopefulness. Thank you for subscribing, Mikhail. Or Mikhail. I don't know. Either way. But yeah, yeah. And I think it just sort of like grabbed me a little bit. Big fan of Hitchhiker's Guide. In the same way that before She Who Shall Not Be Named did her thing, Harry Potter, bastion of positivity. And then... Yeah. What else falls in that category of just like really optimistic fiction? Doctor Who a lot of the time. Big fan of Doctor Who. It is my shirt number. Yes, it's been my shirt number in Seven Aside for a long time. So did you miss my Doctor Who? No, the question isn't Doctor Who. That's, well, one of the questions is Doctor Who. There's many questions. It's not. That's not the meaning of life. No. It was the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything. But that doesn't make it the meaning of life. Skyward Sword's the best Zelda game. I'm going to hit you with something controversial right now. Wants to make you a pinball. I've never played through an entire Zelda game. Sorry. It's just not. It's not been my cup of tea, to be honest with you. When I was 42, I spent the entire year saying I was the meaning of life. Yes, I can do that in 15 years' time. And Evie could have done that 8 years ago. This is what I call a test of seeing if she's still paying attention. Big Bang Theory, Sheldon has another number similar. So I'm 27. I am 27. Suspicious. Sure, my issue, Andy, is, right, and this is a weird one. This is a very specific issue that I've got with Big Bang Theory as a thing. Because it was coming out at the same time as the sitcom Community. And Community is a fantastic sitcom. Community is really, really good at sort of character building and, interestingly, like capturing people as people rather than people as characters. So there would very clearly be something behind all of the actual people that were there. Like, you would understand their intentions, you'd understand everything they were doing. I think if Joe Carson we're going to see the Eve of Destruction. Is it a sort of... Is it we need to say her name 3 times into a mirror and then she rocks up? I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose, because that was twice. But yeah, and Community has a character that has Asperger's. No longer known as Asperger's for reasons, that's my bad. Joe's audience is considerably older than him. Oh, yes. I've seen the analytics. She did listen, she checked WhatsApp. I only said it twice. It's okay. She's not a bathroom ghost. And then simultaneously, you've got 2 TV shows with Abed, who was the character with Asperger, again, high functioning autism, sorry, on Community. And you had Sheldon, who was the character with high functioning autism on Big Bang Theory. And one of them was such a more representative version of a human being that going back and watching Big Bang Theory, sort of like, oh, this was bad. Okay, this wasn't great. It was, yeah, and I think Community's just better written in general, just as a rule of thumb. It just kind of is. Sorry, I had to skip a few seconds because I'm watching on my phone. That's good. No one said anything at all about you. Everyone was incredibly kind, except for Baby Zebra, who said that you are made of cheese. Not even good cheese, either. You're like a weird blend of American and blue. You're a blue American cheese. I said nothing, and also, why are you full naming me? I've never really watched Sarah and Michelle Gellar stuff. I tried to get into Buffy, and it just didn't happen for me. I didn't click. Like, I know it's a good TV show, but it was one of those where I tried a few times, and I was like, it's not going at the moment, which is a shame. Hold on. I've had an idea. Yeah, sorry. I was... Right. Hold on. Got a thing to do. There we go. If that's a decent volume, let me know. No, because like when I was younger, you had the best version of Saturday Night TV. Because you would be on BBC One, and it would be Merlin, which was excellent television. It was fantastic stuff. And then it'd go into Doctor Who, which was, again, peak era Doctor Who. Wonderful. Although, most nostalgic era Doctor Who is what I'll call it, because I like Capaldi era. And then it would be followed by Primeval. And I didn't need to go to Buffy, because you know what? I had my wizard, I had my sci-fi, I had my dinosaurs, and that'll do. Okie dokie, Jamie. See you shortly. I love Matt Smith as Doctor. He's good. He's good. But I think looking back, there's a little bit of an issue with a lot of Doctor Who stuff, which is so many folks watched Doctor Who, watched the Matt Smith era, saw that Peter Capaldi was coming next, and were like, ugh, this man's old. And there was a different energy for a little bit, and they got scared. But he's just better. There's just better episodes in that era. There are some stinkers. There's the one where how do I describe this one? The episode is called Kill the Moon. And anyone that has watched Kill the Moon will understand my complaint here. Because Kill the Moon, in a relatively progressive Doctor Who, was an episode of television where it turns out the moon is a really big egg. And your main characters are given the option of, do we nuke the moon, which kills the moon, but it keeps the moon there, which is fine, which means that gravity doesn't break and all that kind of stuff. Or, different question, do we let the moon hatch? And the entire thing is some weird sort of metaphor for giving the planet Earth an abortion. And then the egg hatches, and it's like, right, okay, so the Earth should end because conservation of mass means that there is no longer any gravity happening here. But that doesn't happen. And the reason that doesn't happen is because the moon lays an egg the exact same size and mass and density of the original egg. And somehow, some way, a writer wrote this and didn't think, does this make sense? Because the answer to anyone that thinks for like a quarter of a second says, that's fucking nonsense. What are you talking about? Oh. It was so stupid. It's so stupid. And there were the occasional episodes where you just look at it and go, that makes no sense. That's bollocks. But you'd keep rolling with it anyway, because you were invested from the time that you were 7 years old up till now. Who's on the way? Currently, it's not someone being on the way to Leeds, it's being someone on the way from Leeds, which is the entire Leeds United squad going from Leeds to Stockholm. Because I've got to be honest with you, right? There's me being brutally honest with you. One of my favourite things is watching you get wound up. Oh, you're going to see a grumpy person over the weekend, because if shenanigans happen, as shenanigans have happened earlier today, you know what I mean, then it's going to be a case of frustrated Joe tries not to burn down the John Charles Centre for Sport, which is good. What was the thing I was answering? Yeah, it's not a giant pigeon. We're watching the entire squad travelling from Leeds to Stockholm, which is just nice. And it's because I won't have the chance to do a stream and a video for all of the coming days. So if I stream now, when I know I've got a few hours of space to just talk, then that's cool. And I know it's a stream that people like to hop in, so it's good. Aeroplane. Why is the aeroplane melting, Jer? What's going on? We've gone off on a tangent. We always go off on a tangent. Are you new here, John? I know you're not, but come on. This is what we do. We just get lost. Back into season 3 of Who, everything from human nature on is god tier. Oh, let's try and... Right, I'm going to do the thing where I try and run through all the episodes in order in my head without cheating. Am I flying solo or have I got a co-pilot? In all fairness, I did offer to Evie, and the offer is available to Jer as well, to open up StreamYard, have it off screen, but be effectively a co-pilot. So that'd be good. But I'll walk in front of you and that will genuinely make you laugh so you're not stressed. I will remain stressed, I'll just be distracted and stressed so I'll forget to do something. Anyway, back end of season 3 is Human Nature, then it's Family of Blood. Then it's Blink. Yeah, then it's Blink, because it's 42 before Human Nature, I think. So it's 42, Human Nature, Family of Blood, Blink, Utopia, Sound of Drums, Last of the Time Lords. I can't remember which is which that way around. I think Last of the Time Lords is the finale, though. Then it's the Titanic episode. Then you're into the start of season 4, which is the First of Donners, which starts with Partners in Crime. Partners in Crime is followed by... It's the Ood one. Planet of the Ood, because it's the Ood one. Third episode of that season is... Fires of Pompeii? Is that not episode 2? It's Fires of Pompeii episode 2. Have I got those the wrong way around? Okay, cool. That's fine. I was only aiming to do the first 3 anyway, but okay. 4, I think. It was in the era where 4 and 5 were your 2-parter. So that would be the Sontarans one. One of them is called the Sontaran Stratagem, the other one is... What the fuck is the other one? Oh. Sontaran Stratagem. I don't know if I want the answer. Because I know the episode. I am thinking of the right episode, right? It's the first... Thank you, Paul. Poison Sky. I knew it was something like the Poisoned Earth or something stupid like that, but... guess JB loves Doctor Who or the Planet of the Apes. Ah! I do love Doctor Who, which is why when it is bad, I get mad. Because it's like, this has so much potential to be good. Write better. Please write better. Please, please. And then so much of the time they just won't. Lost my words, Superman, Star Wars and Wolverine movies. It depends on what you're watching. Because there's some really well written stuff. Trigger from Only Fools and Horses is like... He is... Oh, this is the question, isn't it? Can I get the name of the Cyberman inventor right from the parallel universe? John Lumick? Yeah, John Lumick. By the way, the land we can see in front of us is the edge of Norway, which is nice. Yes, John Lumick. Thought so. Nice. Is the plane sound coming through, by the way? Because I'm intending it to. But I don't know if it is. My end button's dodgy. Okay. I'm going to deliberately scroll through all of your previous chat messages and be like, is it though? Is it dodgy? Controversial opinion time. As an oldish person, I don't like Only Fools or Dad's Army at all. I've tried. I have tried with Only Fools and Horses. And I've firmly landed in the position of I can't be particularly bothered about it. Because it's just sort of mid, innit? Like, it suffers from what I like to call friend syndrome. Friend syndrome is the issue that you have where you have a TV show, and it's ideally a quite good TV show at the time, and then initially people find it funny. What happens after that is someone else makes a sitcom. They see that the thing that you did was funny, they add a twist on it. Now, your thing isn't as funny because it's not got the twist on top, which is why something like Friends doesn't translate quite as well, following How I Met Your Mother, Community, Scrubs, all that kind of stuff, because it did similar, different. So I think that's where they sort of struggle. Love Only Fools and Horses but don't do Dad's Army, really. Yeah, I think, yeah. Blackadder's still incredibly good. I remember persuading a history teacher who couldn't be bothered giving a lesson one time to let us watch Blackadder. That was great. I also remember in a statistics class we talked to our teacher for a bit and he was like, you guys know this stuff, so why don't we just watch a little bit of, like, Flight of the Conchords? Which is great. Flight of the Conchords, that's another banger. If anyone hasn't seen Flight of the Conchords or listened to any of their stuff, you are missing out. That is incredible. Very, very good, funny songs. Evie has just seen my zappy fucker in the sky message, I see. Need to listen to Flight of the Conchords. What about Faulty Towers? It suffered from a touch of the Rowlings, I think, Faulty Towers. In which it was probably funnier at the time, but now watching John Cleese do Nazi salutes goose stepping feels too real. It's lost a little bit of its irony, to be honest with you. When at the same time you've got John Cleese being like, the woke brigade, and it's like, right, okay, you could also now stop doing the Nazi salutes just to. Previously, we thought they were ironic. Also, I've just realised I was doing this as like a flattening out of the mood. It wasn't the initial start of a whole, hey, like full. Wasn't doing the thing that John Cleese does. Is the way I'll put that one. Despite Flight of the Conchords not being able to pronounce their vowels properly, it's very good. Look. Just because they're from New Zealand, it doesn't make them any worse than you. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Yeah, it was quite fun when he was like, no, that wasn't the bad salute, and it's like it was just a variant on the bad salute, and it's like that makes it fine then. Everyone was actually thinking, no, you know what, this is a Roman thing rather than a 1930s to 40s Germany thing. Lindesness now in sight. Is it? Let us have a look. I'll be honest, I don't know my Norwegian geography well enough to tell you. Guess Carry On movies are a no-go now. I just don't think they're that funny. I have tried Carry On films, and they're a little bit like, This was funny when we hadn't learned how to be funny. When it turns out to be just like, oh, I do love a good carrot. Oh, matron. It stops being quite as good. Oh, don't stick the carrot up the drain pipe. You didn't say that last night, did you? Oh, you're so silly. That it doesn't quite come across anymore, does it? How do you do the colour around someone's name when you're replying to them, by the way? If you do @ and then what their username is, that does it. So if I were to go @Mark Rankin, that does it. Red Dwarf's best. It's one that I've always meant to get to, but I haven't. Which is It's a shame. Comedy's difficult to get right. I love comedy that's on that line. It's not offensive, however, has the chance to be. There is a comedy special that I watched immediately before hopping on this stream. It's why I was a little bit late to this stream. Because I think comedy that is dancing on the line whilst being reasonably accurate is good. I think. I don't know. I think there's something to it. I might send you a link to it, as long as you promise to not judge me. The best comedy has pathos, Dad's Army, Del Boy goes forth. Not ashamed to say I've cried. Counterpoint. Is that a counterpoint? Yeah, that's a counterpoint, it'll do. Tommy Cooper. Incredibly funny. There's no real sad. It's just funny. Afternoon guys, what we're discussing? We're discussing basically anything and everything. Whatever we land on. Most of the Carry On films are great in my view. Again, it's like every time that I've been encouraged to watch it and I give it a go, it turns out to be something along the lines of like, Oh, Philip, don't use the back door. It's locked. It wasn't locked for me last night, was it?
Oh, Philip, you're such a nasty bastard.
It doesn't click. I don't glue to it so much. Are Iris and Arlo on board, and how's the bunny after last year's burglary? Right, okay, this is, so, we've gone from Joe does fun, impressions of Carry On films, to Joe is going to get into a fairly saddened and unfun topic. So, what basically happened was you guys knew that we had 2 rabbits and one of them passed away. That I think everyone knew about. So we got 2 other rabbits to keep first rabbit company. We believed we'd had initial rabbit neutered when she was younger, but to be safe, we decided to get the 2 males neutered as well. What happened with them was... this is fun. One of them went under anaesthetic and did not react well at all, and they were able to get him back, but completely brain dead, so we had to have him put down. That was then followed by... because we then had 2 rabbits, the male was not neutered, which meant that having misremembered and Nora was not in fact spayed, it turns out that she got pregnant and we hadn't realised because we didn't think it was a possibility. We just thought she was going to like nicking some of his food or something. Which meant that one night I went out to feed them and discovered her partway through giving birth. Which was fun. And she didn't make it through that because there were complications. And then final rabbit we had, we elected to give away because it was not fair on him and we weren't going to get any more rabbits because we didn't want to go through it again. So that was fun story time. We don't have any rabbits now. We have a dog, we have a cat, but no rabbits at the moment. In the wise words of the Venga boys, whoa, we're going to the airport. We are going to the airport. I mean, we're currently sat in a plane, and I guess every plane eventually goes, well, no, some of them don't go to airports. Some of them definitely don't go into airports. Most planes go to airports. Where are we flying? Oh, we're flying over Flekkefjord and Lyngdal, which is nice. Joe, you just found your vocation in life, audio commentary compilations. How do you mean audio commentary compilations? Oh, comedy, not commentary, sorry, that's my bad. Oh, I was going to ask, Andrew, I'm guessing your cricket's going to be cancelled tomorrow, right? Almost definitely. If not, it's fine, I'm just curious at this point. That was a dark joke if it was meant to be a joke. At first, it was a genuine realization of, oh, that's not good. And then I sort of leaned into it a little bit, and I was like, I'm not going to make a joke, but I'm going to make people aware that there's the presence of a joke. I'm going to make people think that there can be a joke here somewhere, but I'm not going to point them at the joke, if that makes sense. But yeah, what do you mean by audio comedy compilations? It's okay, War Piglet. It was a few months ago now. So, getting by. It was just during a bit of a tough time, so I was like, oh good, this is, well, the concept of a joke. Yeah, there's the shadow of a joke that you can... What I've done is, I've seen a bunch of Lego on the floor, and I've given you the box with the instructions in, and I've said, go, construct that yourself. On that note, 69 viewers. Oh dear. Anyway, if you haven't liked the stream, please do so. That'd be quite nice of you. A joke in theory. Yeah, there's the basis, there's the ingredients. And I've asked you to aircraft it together. Aircraft? Airfix. What's aircraft? Aircraft is what we're on. Thanks, brain. Oh dear. Right, so do we have any other bits and bats of news that are floating around in the ether? Graham has been asked if there will be a continuation of the podcast that the YEP do. Inside Ellen Road, that's the one. I mean, there's always another Joe. That's all I'm saying. DIY humour. Yeah, put it together yourself, you lazy bastards. That's what I'll do. From now on, I'm not going to make any jokes. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say all of the words that make up a joke. And you guys can put it together yourself. So... How did that one end? Irishman, Englishman, Scotsman, bar. Go. After initially being unsure, I've grown to quite like JB and understand his shtick. Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't... In fact, right, sod it. Yeah, we're gonna do some... ow. Thank you. That was genuinely the one I was aiming at. So it works. The theory works. What was it that you were unsure about when it came to shtick? Because we're going to do a little bit of market research here. We're going to find out what people do and don't like. Which is gonna be nice. In fact, I'm gonna... Also, I'm going to change the title just because I want to test something. I'm going to change it to from Leeds Flight to Stockholm Watchparty Woohooo to Transfer Talk plus Leeds Flight to Stockholm Watchparty Woohooo, because like we are also talking transfers and bits at points between everything else, including discussions about the Inside Ellen Road podcast apparently. But you know, some interest in Ilamelli is starting to pick up. I've read that one. I know, I can read, it's great. I love your laid-back streams, everything's chilled, great chats and not spiky. Yeah, like, I don't have the energy to make it spiky. I know a lot of people like, yeah, if you do that, then there's a lot more zest in the chat. And people will engage more, and more engagement means the numbers are bigger, and if the numbers are bigger, you're doing way better. And it's kind of like, well, cool, but also, I don't want that. I want it to be quite nice and chill. Like, I want to make a community of people that don't hate each other. I agree, just so laid back, almost horizontal. Oh. Have you seen the trick that my chair does? It's really good. It's so comfy. In fact, do we stream from down here? Put a 1 in the chat if no, put a 2 in the chat if yes. I am laid back, quite literally at the moment. Joe will expand. Funny voices, impressions for spitting image. I can do a few voices. I can do a little bit of Scottish as well. It's quite nice. It's quite hard to do from this angle though, because it's like squishing my throat together. It's not great. So I'm kind of struggling at the moment. Shit. Oh no. I felt you're putting on an act, but it's clear to me now that you're genuine. I think it was the chat rooms that sealed it for me. Ah, thank you. Irish bloke with 2 shovels told to take his pick. Hey! I like it. A community... Come on, words. A community of people that don't hate each other. Outrageous, but Leeds United fans. We are, yeah. But sometimes if you're a Scottish Leeds United fan, there's a chance that you might not hate the Scottish Leeds United fans. The English! Fuck the English. But the Scottish Leeds fans are great. Maybe the Swedes and all, who knows? Joe's BJ. No. Hope that Joe can get up again now. I can, but like I was doing the 1s and the 2s thing. So I had 1-1 and 1-2. So sorry, pop a 1 in the chat if you think I should get up from this angle. That's orange and sounds like a parrot. A carrot. Hey! I think that's the first time the Orange Raider has put anything in the chat today. And it's basically shorthand for get up, you stupid prick. Because fair enough, I should. But, Oh, we've had another one. I love the fact that the Welsh word for carrot is moron. Yeah. I'm going to call people carrots at the charity match. And that's gonna go well for me, I think. Michael has also put 1. What do you call a pig with 3 eyes? Pig! Yeah, I like it. Need to get some lunch but don't want to move. I'll put it like this. As you... Fuck's sake. I have to listen to democracy now. I'll make a deal, Evie. I will get up if you get up to get lunch. If you do a handshake emoji, then I will also do a handshake. And then we'll call it a deal. Otherwise, I'm crashing this bastard plane. That's your choice. And currently we've got 81 people on board. Their lives are in your hands. No, but it was a hand... Shut up. Right, okay. I'm gonna... Right. Handshake, so Mark doesn't lose his mind. Oh, you bastard. Good evening. That's how I'm gonna start a stream at some point. I'm just gonna sit up and just be like, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Irish Joe. No, because Joe was in the chat earlier. And I do not want to do any Irish accent around Joe, because that would lead to murder. And murder, if you hadn't heard, is not too recommended. Good afternoon, Kevin. How goes it? The same reason that I'm not going to touch Italian around Andrea, because that is also a bad idea. We're currently flying over Arendal, Grimstad and Lillesand, by the way, which is quite fun. Oh, we have seen the Scum Squad for the friendly, which is quite interesting. Which is, if you put a blob of blue tack under your frame shirt, would it change the angle of reflection of your camera light? What? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. It's not a bad idea. Hold on. Wait, can you see the camera reflection? That's roughly all I can do. It's very solidly on the wall. It doesn't wobble enough. Hey, it's good to see you too, CB. Wonderful seeing you upon today's flight. I caught a piercing and ow. Well, that's not great, is it? I would simply not do that. Well, it's 10 AM. I better start my day. Take care, everyone. See you later, Jammy. Hope you enjoyed this stream. Yes, the Scum Squad is Bayender, Heaton, and me as goalkeepers. Darlow, Mazraoui, Delict, Maguire, Yoro, Heaven, Fredrickson, Munro, Kukonski, Shaw, Dorgu, and Leon in defence. Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, Collier, Mount, Fernandes, Fletcher, and Kone in midfield. Ahmad, Cunha, Hojland, Obi, Williams, and Mantanto in attack. And that's the Scum Squad. We don't have ours yet, but that's fine. That's okay. Can you do a Geordie Joe Wayman? Nope. I will be doing no accents that may potentially cause issues with players in the charity match within 2 days of the charity match. That sounds like a bad call. And I like surviving. Because I may be bigger than Joe Wayman, but I'm also significantly less of a big boy, if that makes sense. As in, like, he a strong lad, and I'm not. I'm a skinny, scrawny chap, which means that would be unadvisable for me, I think. Trying to think of other accents. The flight is now currently 48 minutes away from its destination, by the way, everybody, which is quite fun. Next generation of aircraft will have a pilot and a dog. The pilot is there to feed the dog, and the dog is there to bite the pilot if he touches anything. I like it. It's clever. It's good. Could be a problem. On the subject of things that could be a problem, I need to nip downstairs for a minute. Because I'm doing pulled pork. So, I will be back in one moment. I need to make sure the pork doesn't go wrong. Is Jack Harrison on the plane? I've got no idea. I think we'll find out the squad either tonight or in the morning. But I couldn't tell you. Anyway, back in a moment. I'm back. Who had Joe does something head-bouncingly stupid on their bingo card, by the way? Because, earlier today I did something incredibly stupid. So, cooking pulled pork, one would tend to assume, also I'm going to go to wide view for a bit, one would tend to assume that you need to put the lid on the slow cooker, wouldn't you? Guess who forgot to do that earlier? So, yeah. For the first hour of its cook time, it didn't have the lid on, so it could struggle. Should be fine, but we'll see. A lid on the slow cooker does help. It does, yeah, quite a lot. And the fact that I forgot to do that is a problem. Look, there's Sweden. There is Sweden indeed. Wait, is it Sweden yet? Yeah, that's Sweden. It's Sweden enough. That is Oslo, I believe. No, wait, that is Oslo. And this is Sweden. Which is Sweden, right? And might not be the best of phrasing. But Sweden is a surprising... Right, how do I phrase this? Given its shape. Sweden is quite phallic. We all know this. Which makes it weird to say that you never consider quite how thick Sweden is. Joe, who are we tracking? We're currently tracking the squad en route to Sweden. In theory, we're probably tracking Sean Longstaff. If I wanted to be clickbaity, then I would say we track Sean Longstaff on his flight. Which, you know, kinda. In the same way that you can kinda pop a like on the stream if you want. That'd be lovely of you. Thank you very much. Sweden's very phallic. It is. Sweden is the shaft, Finland is the balls, and Norway is a horrible, horrible growth, I would say. Can't believe people are like, oh, Joe's a really PG streamer. What? Ah, Joe, he only has the safe opinions. Sorry? Have you seen one of my longer streams? Norway is a what? It's a hell of a what? Joe, were you born? Joe, what's your Sunday name? All I know is I've got an amazing technical at Dreamcoat. That's all I know. Is Harry shouting Papadom wrist on the plane? I don't know. Unsure. I can look behind me, but that's just out the window. And if I look this way, it's weird. It's like someone's replaced the cockpit door with, like, a screen and a camera and a light, and it's very confusing. Yeah, you don't do that right now, though. Ooh. Just so you guys know, we're 2 likes away from 100. It'd be 1 like away from 100. Be massively appreciated if you could do so. Thank you very much, and welcome to Joe Airways. Leeds Airways. I don't know. You guys, before the end of the stream, thank you for the 100 likes, by the way. Think up a name for the airline that we are during these streams. If you were to take Norway, stand it on its southernmost point, allow it to fall forward, where would its northernmost point land? This is from a Billy Connolly skit, by the way. I don't know, but there's no way that I want to be on the wrong end of it. You get it. You get it. Is Joe giving us a cock and bull story again? What? I mean, we're on a Red Bull flight. It's not my fault Sweden's the shape it is. Very weird. I don't know. I don't know the Billy Connolly punchline. I feel like I should. Sven-Göran Eriksson and Ulrika Johnson were also of the opinion that Sweden is very phallic. It is! It's so phallic! Why does it look like that? Because I know that, like, pigeon wings, maybe? Pigeon Airways is maybe a little bit better. A little bit cleaner. Why? Right, why? I've done something stupid. Why did I decide to do a 2.5 hour stream within 2 days of needing to talk a hell of a lot on a broadcast? As far as planning goes, that feels fucking stupid. That feels like one of the stupidest things that you can do. Only been on a plane once and I loved it despite watching aircraft investigations. It does help when you're actively trying to make the aircraft crash, though. Like, if you're one of the people that's like, you know what, planes, boring. Then you're in control of it. If you're in control of your own destiny, then what have you got to be mad at? You know? Joe, it could have been Joseph minus Andrew, but for Andy. Yeah, that's why I made the joke about the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I once flew a plane, had a lesson on my birthday. Ah, that sounds so cool. I kind of want to go go-karting again. If I go go-karting again, I might make a vlog. I do like a good go-kart. Once took 97 flights near. Jesus. Yes, I'm aware of how bad this is. That's a lot of flights. That's arguably too many flights. Do the rest of the stream through the medium and mime? No. Because all I know as a mime is the Macarena. That's it. That's all I've got. I feel like Evie's gone to get food, but I also feel like it could be, like, the end of time before Evie returns. The end of time, interestingly, is the finale of season 4 of Doctor Who. Can you fit in a go-kart with being 6'4"? I'm not 6'4". I'm just 6 foot. Right. Okay. So, you people wanted proof on something. You guys wanted evidence of a thing. I've got it. So many people were like, oh, but Joe's so tall. Joe, you must have been lying. There's no chance that you were as tall as Joe when the two of you met. Was talking to him yesterday, wearing the new Leeds away shirt. Still here, just put some fish in the air fryer. Ooh, sounds good. I assumed you'd be decades trying to like waddle your way over to the kitchen. But I was chatting with Joe yesterday, and he was like, "Ooh, that away kit, that looks kind of good. What sort of sizing is it? Because we're roughly the same size." Evidence! Yes! It is proven. I'm 30.48 centimeters shorter than you. You are tiny. That is real short. That's like Evie short. That's an achievement. That's like Crystal short. On that note, I still need Crystal to get back to me on something. One sec. I'm gonna swap over to the face cam for a moment. Cool, there we go. Baby Zebra is quite small, but not the same level of small. I was shocked how tall you said Joe was. Did you think Joe was tall, or did you think Joe was small? Need to create a go-kart charity race, go for it. I don't think that'd be fair. I think... Oh. Where's my volume gone? That's not good. Okay, that fixed it, that's fine. I wouldn't be able to get into the go-kart or back out. It wouldn't be right now. Chris is 5'5". Dr. Cox is just guessing. I'm only shot myself when folks see me, they believe there must be a sick... Oh. Oh. It's kind of devastating. You can't go devastating yourself. That's not fair. I am still here, just not always with my phone as I'm wearing wireless headphones. Oh, look at you with your wireless headphones. Yeah. Okay, that's way louder than I wanted that to be. For some reason, YouTube is automatically reducing its own volume, which means I've got to find what button I'm accidentally pressing on what input device, so it stops doing that. Oh dear. Billy Bremner was quite short, to be fair. Billy Bremner was 5'4". I mean, yeah, but like, yes, he was really good at football. Yes, he was a legend and will remain a legend in the city of Leeds for years to come. Can he reach the top shelf? Because that's like up here, and like I can sometimes reach to the back. I don't think he can reach to the front. So I'm just saying, like, me and Brem, who's winning a header? I don't know. Yeah, but Billy could sit comfortably on a plane in economy. But he didn't need to, because he was rich. So that's not really a benefit to him. He's a wealthy boy. Joe, remind me who recommended your stream headset. You will argue that it is you. I will counter-argue that I had the wired version of this first. I had the wired version before you had the wireless version. So I recommended it to me. Just my normal headphones that I stream with, but they can be plugged in or wireless. Whatever. 6'3" and 16 stone. If it wasn't for the fact I'm out of shape, old and white, that'd be an ideal signing. Yeah, fair. I can't even reach the bottom shelves at the minute. Yeah, I mean, you can do the middle, because that doesn't require like any vertical adjustment. But I have an empty kitchen shelf because I probably shouldn't be climbing on worktops. At some point, someone very, very funny is going to take your favourite ingredient and put it right at the back of that shelf. And you are going to have to learn parkour. And whether or not you are able to do so is a good question. Because I've never judged your parkour abilities. But you will learn. For you will want that ingredient. I don't know what ingredient it is. Could be like miso. Could be, I know you like a mac and cheese. Could be cheese. Could be the pasta. But someone will hide an ingredient. I don't reach shelves, I shop online, easier and cheaper petrol-wise. Yeah, that's fair. I like the phrase great things come in small packages, then my dad retorted, yeah, poison. Oof. Joe is a strapping 6-footer, to be fair, 6'1" to be precise. 6'1" sometimes. 6'1" on a morning after I've been lying down. Cheese in the cupboard. Yeah, I know, but like, I was just listing things. Also, who's gonna do that? I live alone. The goblins, obviously. Have you never heard of the top shelf goblin? I have, because they're always gobbling your food. I'm gonna take that as a high five. So one of you, at least, will have high-fived the screen at that time. And I apologise for the hole that I put in your TV. But, oh well. You can't just nope. I'm just going to assume that someone did. And I'm going to be living on that confidence high for quite some time. Not to concern you guys. The plane isn't going to or from anywhere anymore. It's going from not available to not available. So I don't know what's going on here. We are currently flying over Karlstad. Which, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I couldn't tell you. But apparently, we're not going anywhere now. Which is fun. That's a change I didn't expect. We are currently about half an hour away from our destination. I have one of those toddler boosts to get to the loo stools for anything which doesn't require the IKEA wooden stool that's a bit too high. Jesus. Need 2 booster seats for them to stand any chance of seeing over the dashboard while driving. I don't even drive. I should probably learn to drive. I should definitely learn to drive. I'll work it out. It's fun. Anyway, hold on. I'm gonna go pilot mode. I hope you're all enjoying your flight on Blackburn today, Pigeon Airways. If you are, alright mate, both teams having a good translate. They are indeed. If you're having any discomfort on the flight, just ask Hannah or John and you'll get yourself a booster seat or a stool. If you'd like any macaroni cheese, that I'm afraid to say it's only on the top shelf, which our main stewardess, Evie, is unable to reach as she's recently had abdominal surgery. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Pop a like if you do, subscribe if you're not, and let's keep on going. This is your captain speaking, and over. We'll be arriving in 27 minutes. I don't know why I went a little bit Australian there, but we did, and it's not a problem. Although that was a bit more New Zealand at that point. Bastard. I know, I hid the mac and cheese. I'm such a bastard. Bermuda Triangle, Twilight Zone, the show manifest before it forgot what it was. What? You've wrapped me up in your words, Mark. So in a sleep-deprived state at 4 AM, I inquired about solar panels. I've just had to fend the salesperson away. Oh. If we get a rain delay at the event, I vote that we have a solar panel conversation to discuss why you thought at 4 in the morning it would be a good idea to talk to the solar panel man about buying some solar panels. Because that's an incredible choice. Abdominal surgery is no joke. Hopefully you'll be back to normal quite soon. Admittedly, her normal is still... It's a bad state for a person to be in. But it's a less bad state than the current state. So, we take it. We take it, we move. In reference to the disappearing plant. Oh, right, okay, cool. It was back for me by that point, so it's all good. Unfortunately, I won't make it. I'm making a donation to the charity and I'll be watching the live stream. Very, very glad to hear it. It's good to have you on board and around. It's going to be a very, very fun stream, I think. Leeds are flying to Sweden. Leeds are flying to Sweden. We're playing against Manchester United tomorrow at 3 UK time. I like it. Deserves a raise. Lovely. Considering your height, your standard of joke should be higher. Oh, there's a joke somewhere. No, my jokes will not have a higher standard, but I will continue to tell tall tales. That'll do. That'll do. Back to the interior. I always thought Evie was sane, not so sure now. I mean, yeah, I don't know what gave you that impression in the first place. Don't sell yourself short. There we go. There's another one. Oh, I can smell pulled pork. I'm so hungry at this point. I just give me the pork. No, because that's another carry-on joke.
Oh, Philip, why won't you give me the pork?
You didn't want my sausage last night, did you, love?
Oh, Philip, not in public. Why would you say that?
I'll do whatever in public. Oi, oi. Something,
Oh, matron.
etc. You're in charge, you decide. I don't... Ooh, that's a dangerous set of words. I don't tend to decide things. Because when I do, I've got a decision to make and I don't like decisions. Start with a Philip, I can't help but picture Queenie. Right, okay, in that case, I'm gonna need another name. You're gonna have to give me a non-Philip name to go with. Because otherwise I'm gonna go, like, full...
Oh, Philip. Normally the people with the knighthood are on their knees.
Nope, no, that, no. But then again, I kind of think we need to get better, as a nation, we need to get better at Charles and Camilla impressions. Because when it came to the Queen, and when it came to Prince Philip, people were just on point a lot of the time. But now, it's like no one can do a good Charles, no one can do a good Camilla. Unless Charles could do a good Camilla. Oi! No, right, okay. I need a name for my two carry-on characters. Don't forget, Joe, I need a time on Just Joe's Rival. We have a bet on. I still say late. I will let you know. The plan is I might do like a YouTube short or something when I just like record when people are rocking up, which could be fun. Like, could be a fun little approach, and it's a good way of sort of like, it's a good bit of content to get out for the day, I think. Then again, I don't really know what defines good content. How would one define good content? Je ne sais pas. Currently 19 minutes away from Stockholm, by the way. I'm not doing Camilla. No, but Charles... No. Come on. Come on, behave. Unless I get the inappropriate jokes out of the way now. No, right. This is where we've got an issue, right? Because Stephen, I don't think is a name of someone that's in a film. Stephen isn't a filmic name. And then Peter, if we're talking carry-on films, Peter is undoubtedly that one gay side character where being in the 70s and 80s when these were made, it was all very, let's poke fun at the gay dude, which now we don't go for that. But at the time, it was like Peter is like a relatively squishy name, go for it. Steven Seagal, isn't he the one that is effectively like an ambassador for North Korea at this point? So he's not your best example. Frank works. No, because then I think of Frank from Vicar of Dibley, and he's also gay. He's just coming out with gay characters. I had an old colleague who we used to call Pointless Peter. Yeah. David might work. Does anyone have issues with our carry-on man being called David? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I mean literally. It's not just be quiet. It's I've got a bag of frozen peas and you will have to carry them at the cherry match. Dave rather than David. Yeah, that works. Oh, Dave. Yeah, that works. Okay, now we need a woman's name. Not Dave. Okay, we move on from Dave. Dave has been vetoed. How about Darren? You still here? Yeah, we're still here, Joe. Hello. We'll have it. It's just the idea is, I don't know if I'll be able to stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to do a video on Sunday morning. So I'm just doing a big long. In the words of our Carry On character,
We're just doing a big long one.
It's descended. It descended quite quickly. It was never there to descend. No, not Donald, because then we've got our female character. It's like,
Oh, Babs. Babs speaks like this.
but Donald speaks like this because you can only do Donald Trump. A big wall, a big beautiful wall. Trevor, I like Trevor. Trevor works. We can do Trevor. John, this is far from the worst. Have they landed yet? Anyone not on the plane? I've been busy trying to tape for my back. Right, this is the trick, right? That a lot of people, Derek and Petuni is quite good. They've not yet landed. And as much as every time I do one of these, someone's like, "Who's on the plane, Joe?" I don't know. You tell me. I've got no idea. I got nothing. I've got a fake plane. Right, we're going Trevor. Okay.
Oh, Trevor.
That works. I like Barbara because Barbara you can shorten to Babs. And then you can have, like, Trevor's mate at the pub. Gerald. We'll go with Gerald. No, let's not go with Gerald. That shortens to Ger. That would be bad. No, Grant is a Mitchell, so you can't really do that. Richard, that'll do. Because then you got your side character Richard, who you can shorten to Dick, and you got Barbara, who shortens to Babs, who shortens to Baps. So you got... There's definitely something about Dick in the Baps. And it's... We went off course here. You're not applying the level of deception here as me try. I know, like, it's... The gaslighting is monstrous. I'm so sorry. Peter is the French verb to fart. I did a big PTR the other day, if you heard. Haha. I trusted Peter too much and I did a merde in my pants. I see this is degraded into madness. We were never at non-madness. We were never rational. This is my way of de-stressing from the chat earlier. Sometimes you gotta do it. There'll be no farting on my watch. Well, get your fist out of your bottom and then there won't be any farting on your watch. But as long as you keep it up there, you've got some problems. I see we went similar, CB. Not quite the same, but we went for the same kind of vibe. Old matron. Whenever people ask, like, does the chat really actually add to a stream? Yeah, I think, yeah. It's... Oh, it's definitely pointed this in a fun direction, hasn't it? All I'm saying, don't put a watch up there and you won't have any problems. That's all I'm saying. It seems like a sensible enough thing to say. Do you fart on a watch to wind it up? I like it. That's good. Very nice. I imagine it would be quite wound up as well. Be rather mad at you. But then it'd need to be sentient, like the one from Beauty and the Beast, which feels wrong. Unless it's a consenting watch. In which case, that's fine. I wouldn't myself, but if you want, go for it. We're currently flying over Västerås, by the way, with Eskilstuna also underneath. I said that a bit too German rather than Swedish. My apologies. To all of the Swedes in the chat. All of the many, many Swedes. I cannot believe that this stream started off with more dislikes than it had likes. That was great. Just the fact that before it even started, like, 10 people had disliked it, and I was like, okay, I've not even started it yet. Like, if you want to dislike it whilst we're up and running, go for it, because I appreciate this is a weird stream. But come on, give it 10 minutes. At least give it until we get to the Joe tries to remember Doctor Who episodes in order. Because that point, I admit, if you're not an enjoyer of Doctor Who, that was probably a real low point for you. But come on. Jer, is JB your pilot this weekend coming to Leeds? No. And I'm not going to do a fly along for Jer's plane either. I feel we've covered all the major talking points over the last 2 hours. The interesting thing is, we've not done Pie Show. We've not done the goalkeeper situation. Well, we did for a little bit, I guess. We've done a bit of Longstaff. We've done nothing about Stack, which situation unchanged. We're probably still maybe getting Anton Stack. There we go. That's that one covered as well. We haven't gotten onto Trump, so no, it. I'm not going to touch that one. We did do Pie Show Stash. I forgot about that. Yeah. But now we've got 10 minutes to work out what else to discuss. How can anyone dislike this? It should be a BBC 4 series or a podcast at the very least. No, it's not. We've not travelled on nearly enough steam locomotives to be a BBC 4 documentary. We've been doing Longstaff, not on stream, please. Look, right. As one of the channel members and one of the moderators, you're meant to know that's the stuff that we put behind the paywall. You should... It's Friday, over in the YouTube members section, is Longstaff Day. You know this. Honestly. God. Call yourself a moderator. Joe sat in it. I don't need this abuse. So long. Oh, I don't. Oh, I do. I go low enough to disappear. That'll do. The stream is this now. That'll do. Lead scene for tomorrow. Ooh! Oh, God, that's an actual talking point. Do I do this bit sat up? Oh, I'm visible again. Hang on. There we go. Do I do the predicted Leeds lineup sat up or down here? It's up to you guys. Pop a 1 in the chat for sat up. Especially since I'm having to crane my neck to read the chat. This isn't easy. Joe being laid back as per. I know, it's so relaxing. It's so good. 1, 10. 10 means to stay lying down, Orange Raider, so I'm tempted to listen to you on that one. Another one. One more 1, and then I'll up we get. I can't believe I went down here as a protest and it's still sort of like... Because at this point, I'm basically just doing miming. Oh, John's done it. You bastard! Okay. Oh, God. There's absolutely nothing wrong there, Dom. Thank you. Ah. I think. Streams like an acid trip today. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they happen. But I find these to be the more fun streams, where it's just a bit of a natter. It's like I watch a podcast sometimes called The Yard. And The Yard is generally just like a bunch of dudes that are friends that are like, sometimes we have out-of-pocket conversations. We could have out-of-pocket conversations on a podcast. Yeah, sure, let's go for it. And it just works. Anyway. Shove the keeper in the door before releasing the Tango Horror Show kit. How will we sign a keeper now? I know, no goalkeeper's going to want to come in the door. In terms of lineup for tomorrow, I'm going to make some guesstimates whilst we fly over Uppsala. Of... should I do full Swedish chef for when we're going over places? Or is that not worth it? Probably not. Anyway. Where were we? Yes, Darlow goalkeeps for me. Right back, Bogle. Then Rodon Beale, Gudmundsson. Ampadu Tanaka midfield. With Aronson as an 8/10. And then Longstaff coming off the bench. In the wide areas, James and Lodgy? With Peru probably up top. I think players will only get a half each. Oh yeah, same. I think the same. But that's what I go with as like a full strength first 11. Personally, we all know that I would lean Pat, but Peru hasn't missed a single... Well, he's missed one cup game that he's been available to play when he's been at Leeds United. So, well, let's see Lodgy get a run out tomorrow. I think everyone gets a run out at the very least. That's my thinking. Your psychic joke. What did I do this time? Oh, yeah. Oh, after this I've got to run to a shop to get salad. Sergeant Pepper. I like it. Very nice. But yeah, let's have score predictions actually. Are we thinking that we win? Are we thinking that we lose? Are we thinking that it's a draw, like fairly boring? The Psychic's ball has needed to be cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. Nice, I like it. It's a good one. I did read that as unfortunate a few times, but it's fine. We get hammered tomorrow. I don't think so. I think because it's not a good scum side. I think we give them a lot more credit than we necessarily need to. We'll be alright. All will be well. Leeds will have a lot to prove. Yeah, it's a match against a big rival and a match in which a win is a big statement. So I think it'll be very much we're pushing like fuck to win. Whether or not it happens, we'll see. But we can be optimistic. As he is winning 2-1, I think we'll be up for it. I'm in the same sort of spot. I think we're more up for it than they are. I don't see Scum necessarily being in a place where they're like, actually, Casemiro, am properly excited about this midfield battle against Ethan Ampadu. Whereas Ethan Ampadu's just going to go nuts. Some wonderful score predictions in the side chat. I know. I'm going for a win still, because it's going to be fun. They have not, but he's not gone with them to Sweden, I don't think. So that helps. Because I think he's on the list of players that are genuinely not awful, but because of who that club is, they're fairly consistently of the opinion that, oh dear, where's me playing gone? Shit. 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 Oh, bollocks. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. 3D view. That was nearly quite bad, wasn't it? That was nearly a problem, wasn't it, children? Oh dear. There's a friendly no meltdown if we lose. There will be a meltdown. Come on. Come on. We all know there'll be a meltdown. There doesn't need to be a meltdown, but there will be. And there's nothing that we can do about that. So... well. Right, anyway, as we're approaching a landing, I'm just going to prepare. Make sure that I'm in the best possible position. The land is upon the runway. It's going quite well. Hold on, there we go, that'll do. Oh, we're going down a bit. Oh, it's like a roller coaster on here, isn't it? Oh, hoo, hoo. Whoopsie downsies. Can't see the chat right now. Should probably open it on my phone, but we're coming in for a landing, so no. Oh, we're doing a wobble. Bit like that. Oh, oh. Incoming. Here comes the floor. Let's bring the microphone a bit closer. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and... another happy landing. What a lovely stream! I like these streams. Quite fun. The gear isn't down. Yeah, that's why I did the little bit of a wobble. Because I think we're more trouble than we think. But you guys don't know that, because you guys are further down in the plane. Which is probably a problem for you, to be honest, because then you've got to deal with the fact that you've got an incompetent pilot. Which isn't my issue. Ooh, thank you for becoming a member, Edwin Charlesworth. Massively appreciated. Thank you very much. For $2.99 a month, Edwin has just gotten access to a bunch of videos early and the occasional extra stream and stuff when I get around to it and I'm not planning a charity football match, which is quite good. Anyway, the team is now landed, which is lovely. quite well, that'll do. Bit of a wobble and not comforting things to hear from a pilot. To be fair, quite well, that'll do, and a bit of a wobble are significantly more comforting than it's on fire. Like, on the list of things to be scared by, I think it's a bit wobbly is a little bit better. I hope the neighbours didn't hear that. That could be a problem. Oh dear. Do we know the squad was Harrison on the plane? We don't know yet. No. Sorry. Anyway, let's go to the outside view, shall we? And we've got a bit of taxiing to do. So we do, yeah, look at that. Ooh. Let's taxi our way to the airport and then I'll bring the stream to a close, I think. If you haven't yet, by the way, I'd hugely appreciate you popping a like on the stream. Because these are quite fun streams. I like doing the slightly weird ones. Because it's stuff that other, like, YouTubers I don't think would do. And it's quite nice being able to just, like, do them. Because, like, this is something new, this is something different. Go for it. Right, Toodle's got a dog talk. See you later, Mark. If this plane could get a shift on, that'd be lovely. Because I want to go and buy some salad. To go with me yummy pulled pork. Whoa. What a tea. Ain't it right, Babs? Oh, I like your pulled pork. No, we're not doing that again. We're not. No more pulled pork. No more, what's it? Fucking Carry On films. There we go. Definitely a vibe, I'm here for it. I'm glad. Helping me kill last few hours of work. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, ultimately. Just have a bit of a chat. Have a nice chill. And eventually have watched a plane come all the way to Stockholm Arlanda Airport. Where I would like to note the gear is not down. As noted earlier, which could be a problem. But where are we going? Are we watching the Leeds squad get kidnapped? Babs is no... Evie!
Oh, I do love a good sausage.
Hello. This is more important than work, I agree. I know! It is. There we go. We're learning the truth. Right, so we had some buildings over here. Clearly they're not the buildings we're after. We're after these buildings? Oh, what are these buildings? Arlo heard sausage and wanted to join in. Is a dashend. He's allowed. Of all the versions of dog, I think dashends are the most permitted to sausage. Phrasing, but that's fine. Are we pulling in? Are we stopping here? Is this the plan? Oh. Has someone mentioned sausages? Yeah. Babs mentioned sausages. Oh, are we coming to... No, we're pulling in. We're pulling into the car park, ladies and gentlemen. The airport car park. Also known as the plane park? Plane park? Plane park. We're going with plane park. A Swedish sausage, yeah. Why did I go German? I do not know. But then again, you go Swedish chef and it goes, I go, Hurgevay. This is paprika, meatball, shrimpy. And then you get a little bit, yeah. That's maybe not the vibe I was aiming for. It's the vibe we landed at, but it wasn't the one I was aiming for. just had a sausage sandwich. The interconnectedness of all things. I know, it's magical. We do love a little bit of interconnectedness. The land of IKEA indeed. Turns out those aren't little buildings that allow people into. No, no, no. Those are tiny IKEAs. All of them tiny, tiny, teeny, teeny labyrinths that no human will ever escape. No human shall breach the walls of the tiny IKEA. But out Naka, he will. His first test is to lead the club out of the tiny IKEA into the stadium and to beat Scum tomorrow. So, with all that said, hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, pop a like in it, subscribe if you're not yet, that's massively appreciated, or even become a channel member for $2.99 a month. You get a bunch of stuff early, it's quite nice. And I will be seeing you later. Doodle. You guys could have done so many better things with this 2.5 hours. I'm just saying. That's all I'm. Secret final message for the people that are still here. I hope you enjoy the charity match. See you later, guys. Bye.